It's going for like a payback. Yeah, you know to say that. Yo, and we should be fucking live. We back at it again. Your boy Dan is back, the biggest flexer on the interwebs with another crypto with an opinionated penguin. Number 26, yes sir. Oh my god, I keep fucking moving around and I fucking keep breaking the camera because it like starts tweaking on the auto zoom there. I hit back and bicep yesterday. I actually feel quite good. My arms feel like sore, but in like a good way. I should hit chest again today. I'm gonna hit shoulders, I think. I should hit legs also. I gotta start hitting legs again. I haven't been hitting legs, and I started wearing shorts, and I was like, oh shit, my legs are kind of small. Even though I am kind of just small right now, but my legs are kind of small. Also, I lost a lot of weight, so I do gotta fucking like just eat more, feed me Seymour. I am hungry and I do my chores. Yeah. So today we got a lot to talk about. I mean, charts are pretty basic, just sideways at the top of the range, so not super interesting. I am biased, Bula. I am biased to the Bula side, but we'll get into that later. Some other like bullish statistics. Thailand security regulators. I don't know, some like shit on regulation. China CBDC. Or not China CBDC. Canada CBDC. China manufacturing costs. What else is there? Threads, DCA Portfolio. I got some coins. I got tons of coins to talk about. Pudgy Penguins, of course. Of course, Pudgy Penguins can talk about them for years. Frank Degods. Bored Ape Yacht Club. We're gonna meme on some Bored Ape Yacht Club. By the way, it reminds me. Yo, one of my shorts got 1.7K views, where it's literally just me going, "Yo, Bored Ape Yacht Club is min 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 min." I read the article. It's like basically, or I read the post. It's like Bored Ape Yacht Club are below 30. Now their art doesn't look so good anymore. And then I'm like, that's fact because their art is min, and the video just got like 2K likes, or not 2K likes, 2K views, which is like the most views I've gotten on anything. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty cool, fairly solid. All right. That's good intro. Good intro. Let's get into the charts. Let's take a look at what Bitcoinita is doing. So, I mean, let's get started. So let's actually go to the weekly right here. So Bitcoin on the weekly, again, pivot is 29,300. So we do want to stay above that. However, in reality, we just want to stay at the top of this range. We kind of want to break out now, preferably. If we go to the bottom, it's going to be so boring. 5 day, same thing. We have this volatility expansion above 15. We have the turn up as long as we're above 26,200. So this is pretty irrelevant. We are just kind of like stuck in this range area, and hopefully eventually we break out. But we gotta see. We gotta wait and see. 2 day volatility potentially crossing down if so MA is catching up, so another 2 day period. If we don't break up, volatility just starts to decline the 2 day, and that isn't the best of signs because usually if once volatility starts to decline, we generally start to go sideways. Even though here we did have that one move up, but overall we just grinded sideways until we had this expansion. So it'd be preferable if we just broke up here. Pivot point is 3,500, so we are getting towards the top side. If we don't do it now, if the higher term time frames of the 5 day and weekly don't take effect now, they might never take effect. That's the scary part. Daily volatilities come all the way down, so volatility's all the way down. So we have contracted as long as stochastic is above 31,050. We are, as long as we're below that, stochastic is pointed down, which means it'll turn down the next close. So if we pump back to the top of the range, which is literally only $100 away, I think it's possible by the end of the day, then that is a bullish sign. Otherwise, we could pull back further all the way down to 20. I mean, 29.5 is really like the bottom side of the range. Again, preferably we do not go to the bottom side of the range. We break up here. If we don't end up breaking up here, things start getting more worrisome because we're just going sideways, and I don't like going sideways. I like some up only action, some bussy A action. Let's go to the 4 hours. So the 4 hours just to grind up. We're seeing all the EMAs start to catch up to price. I mean, 4 hour downside is 3,500, 3,400. So, I mean, that's like the area to like get wrecked on if we start like pulling back significantly. On the 1 hour, what's it called? So volatility. All right, let's go to my other chart actually. But yeah, 4 hours still within this range pretty much. Here we see it better. The range is all within here. We are just grinding up and sideways within this range. Pretty boring, pretty standard. If we go to the 1 hour now, we can see that if my stochastic's going to load, we are in a little bit of an uptrend, towards the top of this range. So in the top half. So if we were to just get a fib retracement really quickly, just get some fib levels. So this would be the bottom side of the range and the top side of the range. So we are currently at the 0.786, 0.886, somewhere in that range. We are above 0.618 to 0.5. So basically we are kind of just consolidating around the top right now. That is a potentially good sign. And it is the first time in this entire range that we have been doing this. However, if we do start to break down, closes below pretty much 38.80 on a 1 hour, it is a very bear sign. Volatility has come down. The pivot point's 31.20, but that is a very easy pivot to get up over. So I do think this is probably ends up resolving to the upside. I do think as long as we just hold this level, we can easily pump back to the top. Maybe even if it doesn't resolve, I do think we have one more pump to the top just to clear some shorts before we go all the way down. That's what I would personally expect. 30-minute, probably same thing. Yeah, just ranging up. Volatility's come all the way down. We have turned down on stochastic, but then I would assume 15-minute is starting to turn up on, yeah, stochastic and Jewel are going to start turning up. And this is if we get a close on the Jewel below 35 and we start turning up, and this is a very bullish sign. So, I mean, at the end of the stream, we'll probably know. So I'll talk about it probably then. I do think we see it turn up soon. So probably like 1 or 2 more candles sideways, and then we start turning up, and then I think we can get a semi-decent pump to the top side of the range. Let's take a look at VLO data. So VLO data, we do have, what's it called? We have aggregated funding. So, I mean, I'm thinking. So funding has come down. So funding, when we were pumping, was all the way up here, back at like 0.016, 0.017, some pretty high numbers. What is that? And funding has now come down a decent amount over the last day, as well as open interest continues to just grind sideways and up. So I think this is a pretty bullish sign. I don't consider this insanely bullish. I do want to see funding invert. If we start pumping to the top of the range, if funding doesn't invert, if funding goes higher, I will be taking profits on my long. But if funding does start to invert once we pump to the top and people start to get really short, then that is a very, very bullish sign. And I will 100% start short, or 100% just hold that long and just let it play out. I think that is the bullish scenario, and I do think there's potential for both. But we'll end up seeing what happens first. I'm just going to save this. As well as, let me move my camera. So as well as here, you can see Bitcoin 3-month average return by hour and the Bitcoin 1-month average return by day, and the 3-month return by day. So so let's take a look at Bitcoin 3-month return average return by hour. So if you look at it in the last week, which is the candle that just happened, we usually have red, and then the rest is usually green. That's based on like last week. Same thing. We just had this red period during the day, during the open of the stock market, like right after open. Then the market ends off the afternoon green from lunch to afternoon. Same thing here on the 1 month. We have a little bit of red into this opening of the stock market, or through this opening of the stock market, and then we pump to the end of the day. Same thing here, a little bit of red towards the opening of the stock market, and we pump to the end of the day. 6 month, a little bit of red in the opening of the stock market into a pump for that rest of the day. Now, this is pretty important because I do think for the rest of the day, the statistics do state that we are more likely to pump. Same thing here. Let's look at it from 2 weeks ago. Tuesday, was green last week. So, and today we're about to see if it's green or not. For last month, Tuesday tends to be a pretty green day, the most green day. Last 3 months, Tuesday tends to be the most green day. For the last 6 months, Tuesday tends to be the most green day. So today is the day to pump. I've mentioned this day a few times. I do think today is the day to pump. I do think statistics lined up. Now we're gonna pray that it does pump, and I pray it does also. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna fuck around and find out. So right now we're kind of just grinding sideways. Nothing super interesting. Hopefully we pump by the end of today, and I do think statistics are starting to point towards there. I should have waited. All right. Right, yeah, so right now we're dumping. I think once we do start pumping, that will be the end of it. So let's get into some of the news. So why are people bearish? I hope people are bearish. I don't really see a lot of bear. I don't really see either sides, but if people are really bearish, this is a very good sign because we are above this key channel on the tighter way to measure it. I personally measure this as like a thicker area, and so far I believe I'm right to do it because, I mean, we're kind of just grinding sideways. But if you were to consider this an SR flip, we are basically above it on closes. I don't know what time frame this is, but we are basically above it. This is Bitcoin chart, by the way. I believe this is the weekly. And so I do think crypto is doing fine, and people should stop being bearish and just watch what happens. But very good sign. I don't even think I follow this guy. I will follow him though. W Rhino. Wifey for the culture dropped their trend dashboard. So basically, on the trend dashboard, you can see that the trend for Bitcoin, the trend for Ethereum, is very strong bull in all time frames, which and trend tends to continue usually until it doesn't. But for now, all the trends on every time frame are strong, and that is a very good sign. And I do think momentum does signal to the upside. So trend in general is strong. You do see strong bull on a lot of the short. So coal mine canary is within 2 weeks. That is a trend within the last 2 weeks. And you see a strong bull in everything. Meanwhile, the short term is the last 2 months. And you see like weak bear, weak bull, nothing super biased. And then the long term tends to be strong bull or strong bear. So long term is the last how long? It's the last 6 months to a year, I believe. So these are it does indicate that trend is starting to shift on the shorter time frames, at least for the altcoins. So I do think we get a little bit of an alt season. And on Bitcoin, Ethereum, I do think they tend to lead. I think this is what this hints at. You can interpret it as many things, but this is my interpretation of it. 7%. So when I saw this, I didn't realize how insanely high the S&P 500. So let me go to this. So oops. All right, let me restart this. Default, yes. All right. So when I saw this tweet, I didn't realize how insanely high the S&P 500 has pumped. In fact, the S&P 500 is merely 7% away from its all-time high, which is insane to me, especially because I still consider this a bear market rally, but we've pumped like 30% on the S&P, and this is a little bit due to the AI boom and all that, but it really goes to show how powerful the markets are, and really shows how much money there still was in the system. I do think we get that Q4 crash still, but I'm very impressed by S&P. I don't think we break highs, but it would be if we do, then like I literally can't say anything. It's no longer a bear market, but I do see a lot of analysts calling for a new bull market, so I'm gonna assume we're near a top. I think we're closer to the top than we are to the bottom. Shorting is very, very different than longing. Have you ever analyzed your trading data over this? Absolutely. Trades when you're shorting, you tend to be either instantly right or the price will go up for longer and higher. So basically, if you short and you are absolutely correct on the short and you take a perfect short, Bitcoin tends to crash very fast. And you tend to get a very fast, very easy trade, and then you can take that quick exit and that's it. However, if you're wrong on a short, then Bitcoin tends to go up higher for longer, just tends to grind up. But once the short does come into play, it tends to just fall like a fucking like a I don't know, like a rock off a cliff. And meanwhile, with longs, even if you are right, they tend to grind sideways. So even if you call it the exact bottom, it's never gonna V up. It's never gonna like the same way a rock falls off a cliff. It's never gonna like you throw it up. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna arc its way back up, and then eventually it's gonna have like some sort of exponential. But even if you catch the perfect bottom on a long, it still is gonna take its time. It's still gonna test your resolve on whether you think you're right or not. And when they test that resolve, that's when they get you to close it. Oh, I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you're end up right, it'll eventually be right. And especially in an asset like Bitcoin, which historically has been a long only asset, as long as you long more than you short, you're probably going to make more money on a bigger enough time frame. So especially on an asset like that, that's how it tends to play out. So, and yeah, that's my personal experience with longs and shorts. Do you want some bear hopium? Bitcoin spot ETF approval probably marks a major top, similar to CME in 2017, backed in 2019, coin IPO in 2021. Absolutely, these big events tend to pump into event and then dump after. And I do think this is buy rumor sell news on Bitcoin a little bit with a spot ETF, and we are getting hyped. I do think the spot ETF comes towards August, and when that comes in August, I do think that will be the top for crypto for the short term. For at least 2023, I do think the top for Bitcoin will be in August when we do get this spot ETF approval. Just in, $650 billion asset manager Bernstein says SEC is likely to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. Just more proof that, yeah, it is pretty likely that we are going to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. It's really highly unlikely, especially once you have BlackRock going in and saying it, and then all these other spot ETFs saying, yeah, we'll use Coinbase. Coinbase is already fully regulatory and fully approved by the SEC, even though they have some beef with the SEC. But at the end of the day, they are fully approved as an asset manager, and they've already, and like, it really makes sense for a spot Bitcoin ETF to get through this time, since you have so much big capital trying to get one. Which reminds me, I'm trying to see if I have the link to something. I guess not. Anyways, I want to talk about something, but whatever. Thailand's securities regulator issued new guidelines for crypto services providers, prohibiting any form of lending services and a ban on the use of customers' funds for investment. So basically, Thailand bans the use of crypto assets for lending investment, which is basically DeFi and stuff. So I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, it's not only DeFi, but it's a number of things. So I guess we'll see crypto banned in Thailand. So not the best sign for crypto. I'm just curious what the price is at. All right. It's going to feel like a payback. You're not allowed to say that. All right. Jason Calacanis. As I explained on All In last year, the increasing cost of manufacturing in China compared to Vietnam, India, etc., is going to cause significant headwinds for their challenged economy. I don't worry about Russia, China, and authoritarian nations. Their leaders always drop the ball. That's a very interesting statistic. We're seeing manufacturing labor costs go from literally nothing in China in the 90s and the 2000s to going to like $8 an hour. Meanwhile, Thailand, Malaysia, India, Vietnam, Philippines are all still around $2-3 an hour, which is literally a quarter of the cost. So you are going to see people continue to remain within China and within Thailand, or not within China. You're going to see manufacturing move away from China to these other countries because China's just too expensive. It's an interesting statistic. I don't agree with him. I do think China are an impressive country in terms of challenging the U.S., but at the same time, he is right. We are gonna move labor costs away from China into these other countries, and that does create potential for these other countries and weakens China in the long run. News: majority of Canadians willing to adopt CBDC, survey suggests. I think this is pretty cringe, but we already know that Canada are a very, what's the word? A very not conservative, a very liberal country. Canada are a very liberal country, and yeah, it really shows their mentality, and they're kind of a bunch of pussies. Canadians are kind of pussies for wanting to adopt CBDC because that means they just want the government to control them. It's kind of sad and unfortunate, but I guess it's the reality of things in a country like Canada. China is flexing with metals that they control 90% of world production of. So China are restricting exports of metals critical to chip production. Oops, you can't really read it from there. Beijing will limit gallium and germanium exports from August 1st. Both metals are key ingredients in making semiconductors. So basically, China produced 90% of the world's gallium and germanium, which are key to making semiconductors, and now they are limiting it. So you're really seeing the semiconductor and AI and GPU race like start to take off fully. And this isn't a good sign since we don't really produce, but hopefully we can get our production up over the next few years and start to compete with China. All your threads belong to us. So if you don't know, Threads is launching. It is basically an Instagram app. It's basically a Twitter competitor made by Instagram, made by Meta, made by Mark Zuckerberg. And they have their app privacy features where they can see literally everything of yours. Literally everything. Privacy practices may vary, for example, based on features, user, or age. But they really do want to track everything. Meanwhile, Twitter don't want to track as much. Having health and financial info is actually insane to me that Mark Zuckerberg wants that. But there you go. That's the one downside to something like Instagram getting into Threads. Now, the interesting thing, though, with Threads and Instagram is I do believe Threads do have a ton of potential because there's a feature called Instagram Notes where basically you just put like a tweet or something, and then every on your Instagram feed can see it. Like basically, if you go to your DMs on Instagram, everybody can just see like a list of all the tweets, and you can put songs and stuff. I love the songs feature. I always have a song like my song of the day. I usually just pick something. Like I think my song was "Start Some Shit" by Chef G. So if you want to listen to that, it's a banger of a song. It's a banger of a song. But anyways, got a little sidetracked. I do believe a lot of the Instagram women and a lot of like I go to college, so I think a lot of people in college are gonna be using this over Twitter. I don't know anybody who uses Twitter in person. Unironically, I think I'm the only person I know in real life that uses Twitter. So, I mean, obviously a lot of people do use Twitter, but I'm talking about like people my age. I'm the only person who I know who uses Twitter. So I do think this does say something interesting about about Zoomers, and I do think Threads will be massive, unironically, especially if it's integrated well with Instagram and just super easy to use. Especially if you can see like a little bit of the Threads feed within Instagram, I do think that will be massive. That's how they should have done it, to be honest. The Notes feature is so good. If they could if they could just add on to the Notes feature, I think that will be all they needed. But I mean, we'll see how Threads does, and I'm sure a lot of people my age will end up using it. He just followed me. So MrBeast tweeted, "Today feels like a great day for Jeff Bezos to give me $1 billion for fun." And then Jeff Bezos proceeds to follow him. Could be interesting. Could be a sick YouTube video. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. All right, and let's get into the crypto markets. So let's do some market watch, then we'll get into some altcoin news. I usually do the altcoin news first, but today I decided let me start with the crypto watch, and then because technically we're looking at coins anyways, and then we'll get specific news. So I think that's a better way of doing it. I do think that has more potential. So I'm just curious what Bitcoin's doing really quickly. Good. We are bouncing. We have entered this hour of bullishness. Wait, I want to potentially do something really quickly. Ignore me. Give me a second, Max. Is the signal there? No, technically not. All right, I'm gonna wait for something to confirm. All right, so let's get into markets. So let's go look at the market list. So basically, all right. So let's see what's up today. So everything looks pretty sideways. GCR, never heard of it. Up 50%, up 90% last 7 days. We're gonna assume it's another meme going. Athos up 10%. Frax up 9%. Frax, by the way, is going to be my altcoin pick of the day, my big cap pick of the day. And Aave, Maker, Pepe. You know, I hold some Pepe. Yes, sir. And then everything else kind of like sideways. Down. Yeah, nothing insanely down. Everything that pumped kind of mean reverted, but on the weekly, like, everything is very, very green. Is there anything red on the weekly? Conflux, 8 point. All right, looks like some, like, really shitty projects are down, other than Sui. But Sui do have a lot of issues in terms of like team and stuff. Let's look at my watch list really quickly. Let's see what's up in the last 24 hours. Not much is up, to be honest. Let's see what's down last 24 hours. Everything's pretty much sideways. Nothing insane. Oh wait, was this up to date? My home screen? Oh, I guess this wasn't up to date. Oops. It was partially up to date. Wait, what the fuck? Some of the things were not the same. Whatever. For the last week, let's take a look. RLB's up 67%. Yes, sir. Pendle up 22%. Both of them are favorites of the channel. Solana's up. Quick is up. I should get a bag of Quick. I like Quick Swap a lot. All right. And so let's get into some altcoin news. This is the proposed architecture design for Polygon 2.0. It's unique and innovative. Polygoners will gain a lot from this design, which touches economic incentives and chain infra. A thread on the architecture and what you'll gain, 0 out of 11. Yesterday, the engineering team unveiled a revolutionary architecture proposal. So this was their ZK-based protocol architecture, where proving, execution, interoperability, and staking have these different layers. What differentiates Polygon from other scaling solutions? Definitely the risk it takes, I guess. Not really, but I guess. So I mean, they do got a point, but these have become a little bit of the standard. I guess they were the first ones to do it, and then they became the standard. So I guess I gotta give Polygon their flowers for that. Respect. So the convergence stage is simple. It's 2.0. It's architecture. The architecture is a collation of all chains operating together, all in one for better, as they aim to be the value layer of the internet where anyone can create, exchange, program value. The architecture is made up of 4 parts, which I mentioned. Validators gain massively here. The interoperability layer, this is where the unified liquidity and scalability comes in. This layer aims to unify all aspects of Polygon 2.0. It simplifies cross-chain messaging, making the network feel like a single chain. It enables seamless transfers of assets and supports near-instant atomic transactions. This layer uses the ZK EVM's LXLY protocol's message queues, allowing secure message consumption. A unique aggregator enhances cross-chain transactions, reducing gas, operated by validators, decentralized. Execution layer, like its name, execution. This is where the action takes place, where the blocks are produced. It powers all Polygon chains, processing transactions in sequence batches. The proving layer basically generates proof for all transactions. Benefits include efficient proof generation and cross-chain communication. Are you bullish enough, Zian? So, what does all this shit that I just said mean? Basically, what Polygon are doing is they're combining multiple of their layer 2 scaling solutions, and they're making it where they work super seamlessly and super well with each other, where they're able to communicate which ends up reducing gas fees as well as puts them all under the same consensus layer, which means that at the end of the day, everything is validated under the same network, and it is a super scaled and far more decentralized version of the current chain. I wonder if it's going to be faster. I have no idea. My issue with Polygon right now is that it's slow. But if it is faster, this does mean big things are coming from Polygon. And honestly, I'm pretty bearish Polygon because a lot of tokens were given out. But once we see the bomb for Polygon, you could be very, very bullish, especially with this new technology, with especially all these different companies working on Polygon's network, like Starbucks, like Disney, like Pepsi, like Donald Trump. You have all these people using the Polygon network. There's no reason not to be long-term very, very bullish Polygon. I do think some very big things are going to happen. The LSDeFi world will never be the same. With the recent development of Frax Finance V2 and L2 Frax Chain, we have a new leader in the space. Let's see where the gains take us. So, I mean, they're basically talking about Frax Finance and some of the innovations coming with the Frax stablecoin, as well as, I mean, you go read this article yourself. I'm not going to read it. But Frax is my coin pick of the day, so my DCA coin pick of the day. So I'll just push that later. I'll talk about that again. Degen Spartan, November 2nd, 2022. Or not 2022. 2020. He was basically like the DeFi bear market per August. 3 out of 36 months. So 36 months after November 2nd, 2022 is 2023. But it's 3 months back, so November's 11th month, so it's 8th month, so it's August. So basically, Degen Spartan called that the DeFi bear market ends in August. And I think the DeFi bear market has already ended. I think we're starting to see DeFi projects pump. But the fact that this is so close, and he said this 3 years ago, is absolutely insane to me. I thought that was insane. According to recent Binance research, most institutional investors use dApps from these 4 sectors: spot DEXs, perp DEXs, LSDs, lending. So I've talked about, I mean, this has been my favorite topic on the channel since I started this channel, since I started Crypto with Opinionated Penguin 26 days ago. And all I talk about are these DEXs. I talk about DEXs all the time, especially, and I've been talking about LSDeFi as well. I don't really talk about lending too much. I don't really care about lending. But you do see a lot of projects that I've talked about being tweeted about from Binance Research, like GMX, which I love, Level, which I love, Gains, which I love, Mux, which I love. I own all 4 of these in my DCA portfolio. Vila, Uniswap, Joe, these are all decent projects. Grail, CakeSwap, Curve, Bal. I don't really care about these too much because I think they might be a little overvalued, or I don't like their tokenomics. But I do think these are all big projects and impressive. Thena, Velo, these are, I don't personally hold these, but CryptoLin, which I got this tweet from, by the way, absolutely loves those projects. Flash Zero, Pendle, another one I love. Lin loves as well. Very good project. You are seeing a lot of these projects I talk about on the channel a lot being spoken about by Binance, so very good sign there. Congratulations to all Pendle degens. Some of you crazy motherfuckers bought this coin at 0.05 cents. Now Binance just announced they will list it and price pumped to $1.27. In fact, not only Binance announced to list it, which they did get listed on Binance, they got listed on KuCoin, they got listed on I think Bittrex or something like that. I don't know. They got listed on a bunch of exchanges. So Binance and KuCoin are the 2 big ones to me, and they got listed on both of them. So I think that's a very good sign. So they have now added Arbitrum One Network as a deposit option for Pendle option. You can deposit Pendle to Binance through either ETH or Arbitrum. So very bullish Pendle. It did dump after this news. It pumped from $1.27, dumped to 80 cents. But since then, it's already back to 93 cents. So that was just a good opportunity to buy more. As per the DAO proposal regulating level balance, 180,000 levels, which is 750,000 worth, has been burned. I am very bullish level in general. And it just takes more time. I mean, it's one of my biggest holders in my portfolio, both on my DCA portfolio and my personal portfolio. So just heads up, I even have some levels staked. So just shows you how dedicated I am to the project. Betsroll. Exciting news. Betsroll staking is now live on Polygon, and the first Matic rewards have already been added to the pool. So you can now go and stake on Betsroll and earn Matic coins for people gambling on bets, as well as you can just hold the asset if you think it appreciates. So again, more bullish news on bets. Bets haven't been performing too well, but I don't think that's any reason to like scare you off the token. I think it just chop right now. I think they just need more users. Once they get more users, they'll pump, especially since it's a gambling project. So let's DCA now. Let's add into Bitcoin $10. So, I mean, every day I can literally buy less and less Bitcoin, as you can tell. Oops. 2, 3, 2. There we go. Add transaction. ETH. Add transaction. So $10 of ETH. There we go. Add transaction. My big cap pick of the day is Frax. So again, they have their Frax Finance V2 and their L2 Frax chain, and I do think this is long-term bullish for Frax as well as short-term bullish. And they haven't really pumped so much. This is what I've put into it, and they really haven't pumped. So I do think that is overall a pretty bullish Frax. I do think they do have a lot of potential. And yeah, so I'm just gonna add Frax. I don't really have more to talk about FXS. 1.5. 3. There we go. I am quite bullish Frax long term. I do think it will be one of the bigger pumpers this bull cycle. I think it has a ton of potential. So that's my big cap of the day. My micro cap pick of the day is Premia. So something I've been talking a lot about DEX and DEX perps. Something I haven't been talking about is what's it called? Is options. I do think options are even more degen than 100x leverage, and for somehow they are more degen, maybe not 100x, but they are more degen than like 20-50x leverage. And so I do think Premia does have a place in that market. I do think Premia at this valuation is a little bit high based on what I can tell. But I do think, I mean, if you look at their all-time high, they are down about 80%. I do think this isn't a terrible place to accumulate, as well as they look like they're starting to get some traction. So I did want to cop some before they do like a 20x pump. Now, on the worst end, I lose 50% of this investment, but I do plan on adding more to this position. I do think options do have a lot of potential in the future. This is another Lin coin. Lin absolutely loves this coin. And you should go follow her on Twitter, Crypto Lin. But yeah, so this will be my small cap pick of the day. Put in $10 at transaction. And so overall, my DCA portfolio, we are now day 26 in. So we are up $100 out of putting $1,040 in. We're up 100. So if we pull up the calculator, you can see that we are currently what's it called? So 100 divided by 1040. We are currently up about 9.6%, so that's a pretty good sign. Doing very solid. Everything seems to be. My big caps and micro caps are outperforming Bitcoin, which is the best sign that you can have. Since Bitcoin is up 10% overall on my purchases, that means I'm up more than 10% on the rest. So, I mean, the only issue is that Ethereum is lagging behind, but at the end of the day, Ethereum is going to eventually outperform when money cycles towards it. So, not too much stress over there. Let's get into some NFTs. 24 hours later, big bounce. What worse than shitcoins or stonks versus NFTs too? It's all just human emotion. Although this is probably a dead cat bounce, the swing says it all. So basically, NFTs crashed significantly, and now we're seeing them pump back up. Especially like Beans. Look at Beans. They pumped back to 1.54. Oh wait, no, this is elemental Beans. Never mind, this isn't Beans. Beans are at 0.45. Never mind. Damn, Beans crashed hard. Yo, so NFTs. Look, even though on the day they're up like 15 to 30%. On the week, they're down like 50-60% on a lot of these NFTs. So NFTs got absolutely wrecked. Wrecked. Yo, Beans were at like 2 ETH, now they're at 0.5. Bored Ape Yacht Club were at like 60 ETH, now they're at 30. Mutant Apes were at like 20 ETH, now they're at 5. Azuki were at 15, now they're at 6. Degods were at 12, now they're at 7. Azuki Elementals were at 2. They minted at 2, they're at 1 now. The captains are actually doing about the same. I think they were maybe like 8, 9. Now they're at 6. I don't know too much about them. Pudgy Penguins are up though. On the week, they started the week at 4, and now they're at 4.07. They're basically sideways, which is a very good sign by Pudgy Penguins. Elemental Beans don't really count. Bored Ape Kennel Club down significantly. HV MTL down significantly. Like, you're just seeing all these NFTs crash. They got wrecked. But I mean, overall bullish Pudgy Penguins, and that is really all that I could say to this list. How down bad are NFTs? They are Adam22 down bad. If you don't know who Adam22 is, he's this porn star who got married to this other porn star who he exclusively did content with. Alright, the week after they got married, she proceeds to perform a blacked video. Holy shit. Who fucking does that? What the fuck, bro? She's your wife and you let her, for an OnlyFans video, have sex with another dude, bro. What a cuck. Now, regardless of that, NFTs are down bad, just as down bad as he is. That is how down bad NFTs are. So just to show how bad things are, put things in perspective, things are pretty down bad because that is some pretty down bad shit on this guy. I mean, look, I'm gonna stay away from this guy, but I'm gonna stop talking about him. But yo, that guy's down bad as fuck. Yeah, damn. All right, so Fuddies 4 is currently at a 74 SWE price. Insane. Very, very low. Go get your Fuddies today. Never forget that we're still up 10,000% from our floor of 0.69 SWE, about 91 cents. People mint this afternoon for 300 SWE. It's now 0.69. But don't worry, guys. We're still up from the bottom. Let's go. All right. Yes, sir. W Fuddies in the chat. Pudgy Penguins are now at a floor price of 4.15 ETH. They were at 3.5 ETH. I literally said go buy it. It's not going to last at 3.5 ETH. Plus, there's like a floor of like 10 of them, and they're at 5 ETH. Look, we're already like getting there. That's how fast we bounce back. Pudgy Penguins as well have their Banana Suit collectible released this Saturday. So very, very exciting. There will only be 150 made. It'll be dropping on Network Live and Say Some Official. So if you want to go cop one, you got to fucking get there first. It's going to be difficult, but good luck to everybody. We'll be releasing, I will be keeping this tab open because I want to try copying one myself. Introducing the Pudgy Asia Soulbound token. This Soulbound token will commemorate the builders and creators in the Pudgy community that are dedicated to growing our Asia huddle. Don't fade Pudgy Asia. So yeah, same thing. I should be switching back to half Twitter, half article. Yeah. So don't fade Pudgy Asia. Very, very bullish Pudgy Penguins. Let's continue moving on. All right, congratulations to the top 4 made it on Bloomberg. This might be a turning point. We've never seen traditional network broadcast NFTs before, so we're seeing NFTs get broadcasted on Bloomberg. So let me switch to this. So we are seeing NFTs get broadcasted on Bloomberg. So if you look at Bloomberg today, they're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana. But then they're like, oh, look at the floor prices of major NFT collections over the past week. And guess what's down the least? Pudgy Penguins are the only one that's down the least. Everything else is down 20% or more. You have Azuki's down 60. You have Make down 30. You have Forgotten. I don't even know what the heck that is. You have I don't even know. Degods are down like 20, but you see Pudgy Penguins are like down like 10, which isn't bad. Solid. And Pudgy Penguins already bounced back from there. They're 4.15 ETH. They're literally the same price I said a week ago. They should be buying them at. But just very interesting to see NFTs on television, especially Bloomberg. Really goes to show the change in culture. Honestly impressive. I was replying to someone asking to come over and stop working for a bit, and this is what I found. Look, Pudgy Penguins are in your Apple messages. When you type nope, Pudgy Penguins come up. That's how fucking massive Pudgy Penguins are, and that's how massive they will continue to be. What stage are we in the NFT market cycle? Holders are roasting founders' public appearance. Hey man, you look like shit for real, no cap. I thought this was just funny. Look at Frank. Frank is the creator of Degods, and he looks exhausted, but good luck to him. And he's also on, what's it called? He's definitely on Adderall or some shit like that, which I don't recommend. I mean, I've never done it, but honestly, you can have so much energy if you just fucking sleep well and work hard. No kizzy for real. But he's a zoomer, whatever. I let him do his thing, and good luck to all Degods. Very impressive work by Frank, and let him continue working hard. Kira, LMFAO. Justin Bieber purchased his Bored Ape NFT in January 2022 for $1.31 million. Today it's worth $59,000. And yeah, this is funny because guess what? Bored Ape Yacht Club are mid. And they're honestly just keep going down, and they probably will continue just going down. And that's how it'd be like, especially after, dude, Bored Ape Yuga Labs literally raised like at a $10 billion valuation, something insane. And now their mainstream product went from a floor of 140 ETH at ETH being $4,000 to a floor of 30 ETH with ETH being $2,000. So not only did ETH half, but their floor is down 80%, which is absolutely insane. They are quite down bad, and I don't really see an upside right now. And Justin Bieber's crying about his crying ape. So there we go. Alex Becker, during this NFT bloodshed, a few have pointed out Neo Tokyo's NFT floor haven't budged. Heck, we are gaining methers. Here's why, plus a lesson. So this is actually true. This statement is true. The floor for Neo Tokyo has held. So let me open up OpenSea really quickly. I'm just curious what the floor is on Neo Tokyo. Tokyo Citizens. It's super hard to fucking find the project. The floor is 5.15 ETH. So I mean, can I zoom in? No. All right, never mind. But it's hard for you to see. But basically, the floor is for 5.15 ETH. You see from these bottom ones. And to be fair, Neo Tokyo is not necessarily a PFP project. It's more like a group of like-minded individuals who want to talk about the gaming industry. However, I disagree with his Soho House model. The whole point of the Soho House model is that the Soho House earns money off a actual place, a business. Not only do you pay for a membership, not only do you pay for the membership of the Soho House, but you also pay like money for drinks, money to like be at the pool, money to just be you pay money just to be there. It's kind of like a kind of like a country club for rich people who with like-minded goals in order to network. And I agree absolutely with the networking part, but in terms of the Soho House model, in every single other aspect, there's absolutely nothing alike. Which so I absolutely disagree with this, but I do agree that it is a what's it called? It is a networking tool, but personally, I don't know. I'm not super insanely bullish to Tokyo. I do like the project still, but I'm not like insanely bullish. I do hold my Neo Tokyo Citizen. I have it staked for 2 years, so I don't plan on selling it, but I don't really see any purpose in selling it right now. So that's really it. But I'm not like insanely gonna be like, holy shit, like up only Neo Tokyo. But that's just me. FUMO burn is now live. Burn to redeem mega-sized alien FUMO IRL with surprise bonus, 2 generative 3D FUMO NFTs with each burn /600 supply. So basically, you can start burning your 3D FUMO, and you can get one. You have a 100-day window for physical /infinite window for NFT. Price curve gets steeper with every burn. So yeah, go get your FUMO. I would blast this music, but it is ear-rapey as fuck. Here, wait, actually I will. Look, this is what the fuck they're oh, wait, you can't even hear it. Alright, you can't even hear it. Wait. Properties. That is why. There we go. Now you can hear it. Yeah, it's like fucking ear rape as fuck. I'm not even gonna play past that. RTFKT. So they have their what's it called? When hope is lost, we rise. RTFKT. So they have this little whatever the fuck. They have, I guess, a new NFT project or something. It's a teaser. It's called Animus, Project Animus. So exciting to see what RTFKT come up with. Gonna be very interesting. Daniel got hits, tweeted, oh, fellow Daniel, look at that. Love me some fellow Daniels. Yes, sir. The greed of markets is insane. Imagine being up 20 million and still feeling like taking loans out or leveraging yourself in any way. Crazy. Leverage is bad karma. IMO house always wins. So this guy basically tweeted, hey, everyone, finally ran out of capital to pay down my loans and got liquidated last night on my remaining 3 apes. Been an insane ride. 20 million to negative 2 million. Good luck to all. And I'm not going to make it, but sincerely hope y'all do. Bro, $20 million. You give me $20 million. You want to know what I did with it? I stick all of that in a money market account, yielding 4%, gives me $800,000 a year of capital for doing literally nothing, just sticking it in a money market account, and you literally never have to fucking work another day in your life. Meanwhile, this guy took $20 million and decided to gamble it to negative $2 million. That is absolutely fucking insane degeneracy. Don't do that. If you have $20 million in crypto, you cash all that out, put it in a money market account, you're earning $800K a year. You are so beyond well. You're so beyond well off. You literally need to do nothing else in your life. Even if you get taxed 50% on that money market account, which you aren't, it's because long-term capital gains. Even if you are, like, there's nothing that, bro, like, you have $20 million, you do not look at that shit ever. You lock that shit up, and you're just set for life, and you take the easy way out, and then after that, you start taking that $800,000 that you're getting a year, and then you can, if you have, like, an extra $400,000, bro, there's no way you're spending $400,000 a year unless you're absolutely degenerate, and you could easily go invest that and just gamble that away if you wanted to. So that's my money advice of the day. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Like this man's stupid. Credit Suisse and the Swiss Football Association are teaming up to release an NFT collection honoring women's football in Switzerland. So, pretty interesting news. They're going to have an NFT collection for the Swiss national soccer team for women. Could be interesting. I would not personally buy these, and I don't personally think they perform well, but just an interesting point to talk about. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it on the cryptos. Not literally no gaming news today. I have literally nothing gaming to talk about, but that's how it be like sometimes. And that is the market. So yeah. That is my market analysis of the day. Kind of ran through everything, but I spoke about a lot. Gonna have a lot of edits to make. Let's see how my video is doing right now. My Bored Ape Yacht Club video is doing. So I believe it peaked around 1,600 views. Yeah, it's 1,700 views. It's getting sparse views here and there, but it's not really catching any. Interesting. Very nice. I think I did a decent job with this. Very, very nice. That honestly doubled my entire, not channel views necessarily, because I've gotten more views on other videos, but my entire last month views, it pretty much doubled it. So very, very poggers. W's in the chat. But yeah, that's all I really had to talk about today. It is 4th of July. I hope everybody enjoys their 4th of July, spend it with their family, be wholesome, etc., etc. You know, have a good time. And yeah, I think that's. I'm just thinking, did I miss anything specific? I don't think so. Yeah, in general, enjoy your day. I do think we potentially pump right now. Bitcoin is grinding sideways. Let's look at the 50-minute chart. We are getting our bottom side. All right, so yeah, I think if we start pumping, it'll be soon, over the next hour or so. So we're going to find out what happens. Fuck it, we ball.